Abby, we're here at the Turweston Wings and Wheels event where we're hoping to see lots of aircrafts, cars, motorcycles and lots more. So come on, let's go and have a look. Hello there, and we're here with John. John, you're commentating on today, and you're also going to be getting in this plane and flying it. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, this is a dream come true for me. Turweston, Wings and Wheels 2011. I was up to fly this aircraft last year. It's the Texan T6. It was built in the US during the latter part of World War II. We had a Canadian version which we called the Harvard, which was typically used as a trainer here for the RAF to get pilots ready to fly the Spitfire and the Hurricane, of course. This aircraft saw combat in the Korean War, where the American used it to mark targets with rockets.
Right, so it's seen some action then in its time.
Yeah, this particular one wouldn't have done, but because it's obviously a latter end of the war production aircraft, but certainly the ones that were at that period of time, it is the nearest thing. And for me, it's a bit of a dream come true because it's one step closer to flying, as I say, the Spitfire or the Harvard. Pretty much a Spitfire, or Hurricane are very high in value, well over £1 million today. And although this aircraft is pretty much halfway or 3/4 of the way there, if you get in an aircraft like a Spitfire or a Hurricane and then prang it, it's a bit of an expensive process and a long haul to put it back together again. There are a lot more spares around for these. It's a metal aircraft, rather where the other aircraft have a lot of cloth covering and so forth, so they can burn much more easily or get broken much more easily. So a lot more practice. It's quite robust as an aircraft, so they'll let Muppets like me climb into it and have a go. Today, anyone can come and have a go. As I say, as a training passenger today, it's not really a passenger thing. And if a member of the public wanted to come along and fly, the captain, in fact, in charge of the flight, is a qualified licensed instructor by the CAA. And of course, that means they can get out of the airplane with a silly grin on their face, just as I will in a few minutes' time, and do exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm going to run to my car, they'll run to the tower, buy themselves a little logbook, and the captain will actually sign that in. And if they were taking their pilot's licence, it counts towards their licence.
Brilliant. It's been lovely talking to you today. We're going to watch you take off in this flight, so wish you the best of luck. And
see if this green gets any better when I get back.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And coming down the runway now is the Texan about to take off. Here it goes. Okay, I'm with Francis and we're sitting in the cockpit of the Optima. Can you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Optica aircraft, Edgeley Optica aircraft, which was an observation machine that was designed and built in the late 1970s. And about 25 of them were created mainly at Old Sarum near Salisbury in Wiltshire. And this is one of 4 remaining aircraft.
One of 4. Okay. What's it going to be doing here today? Can you tell us a little bit about why it's here? It's
here for a short air display. We're also here to promote the fact that the aircraft design rights have recently been bought back by the designer of the aircraft, John Edgeley, who is looking for backing to put the aircraft back into production.
So can you tell me a little bit about this part of the cockpit, the bubble, do you know where the design came from?
The whole design of the aircraft has been aimed towards maximum visibility from the cockpit for the observation role. And the aim was to put the people at the front of the aircraft for best view out, and that meant putting the engine behind using a ducted fan arrangement. And the shape of the cabin has been optimised for maximum aerodynamic efficiency.
I mean, I'm sitting in here, I can see what you mean. You can see pretty much everywhere. I'm imagining when you're up in the air, you can see everything. Is that taken from like a helicopter's, kind of like the design?
Well, it does end up being similar to a helicopter's cabin.
Yeah.
So in some ways the aircraft is similar to a helicopter's cabin with a conventional aircraft wings and tail mounted behind, but the unusual feature is that the power plant is a ducted fan arrangement situated in the middle of the aircraft.
Right, I'm here with Bob. Bob, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing here today and your role and involvement with the whole of the wings and wheels?
Yes, certainly. The British Legion has been going now for 90 years. This is the 90th anniversary of the foundation of the British Legion. It was formed at the end of the Great War, the First World War, when so many of our armed forces were killed. Roughly 10 million men altogether were either killed, maimed, or badly injured. And this left a vast number of families throughout the country with no breadwinner. And also disabled men and women who needed some sort of support and some employment. And so the British Legion was formed. At that time, the poppy was adopted as the Legion's emblem. And a poppy factory was set up, which is still going today, which employs maimed and disabled servicemen and women, giving them a useful employment where, under other circumstances, they may not have been able to get employment. As far as today is concerned, this parade is normally held at Greens Norton, but due to health and safety issues, we were very kindly offered the chance of joining in the Wings and Wheels event here at Turweston Airfield, and they've been most supportive. Part of the way that they're supporting us is that every £1 of the entrance fee that is charged for the general public to get in is being donated back to the British Legion.
That's brilliant. Can you tell me a little bit about who is here today, who we have behind us? Yes,
certainly. We have the Northampton Air Cadets here, and we also have the 800 Air Sea Squadron from Kettering. And they're the unit that actually brought the band, for which we're most grateful.
Yeah, so it's all local cadets to Northamptonshire?
Yes, all Northamptonshire, yes. Yeah. And I'd like to personally thank them for turning out today and making such a delightful spectacle of the whole parade. Without them, we would have been lost. The military vehicles, if you're interested, are all owned by members of the Military Vehicle Trust, and the Military Vehicle Trust has something like 5,000 members throughout the country, and all of them are dedicated to restoring and showing military vehicles, and you see a small selection of them here today. The Jeep is an amazing vehicle. Up until 1939, there was no light truck for use by the armed forces, and in 1940 the American government put out a tender for a light truck that could be used in all theatres and under all conditions, and so it became the first truly universal small four-wheel drive vehicle in service anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and there's a lot of funny looking sticks on it. And I think it's very cool going for a ride. Paul. And extremely well in the 1933 12-4 Harley. Anyone wants to buy a bike today? Buy a real British one.
I'm here with Colin now. Colin, this looks like a normal Volvo to anyone watching, and then all of a sudden I see it bouncing. Tell me a little bit about that, please.
This car was started as a project in 2003, so it's been 8 years in development and there's still things to do on it. In its simplest terms, it's got 4 hydraulic rams on it and it's powered by 6 12-volt batteries, so there's 72 volts of power going through from the back end in separate battery systems that don't charge while you're running.
Obviously this car can drive on the road, is that right?
Perfectly road legal, yeah, but you just have to be careful that when you drive and you put it at the right height for road conditions. It doesn't like potholes and it doesn't like speed humps, I'm afraid.
I can imagine, I don't think any car does. Now I can see in the back you've got somebody sitting in the back with all the levers. I'm taking it that's for the whole hydraulic system. Can you tell me about how that works?
In simple terms, it's a hydraulic system and it's just rams. The back end will lift 12 inches from the ground and the front end will lift 10 inches from the ground.
Yeah, it looks a lot of fun, a lot of fun. It must be a joy to take it to these events.
Yeah, it's a bit of an eye catcher. It's a bit blingy inside if you look at the interior, but when I first saw it I nicknamed it the Pimpmobile, but subsequently it's been renamed as the Volvo.
I'm here with Dan. Dan, tell me, you're one of the pilots here today for the air ambulance. Tell me what you're doing today.
Well, the air ambulance has been here at Turweston Airfield all day for their Wings and Wheels Day. We've also, with an associated company, been running pleasure flights in one of the old air ambulances, so to speak. The air ambulance here just raising funds really in support of its work in Warwickshire and Northamptonshire.
Okay, this is an ex-air ambulance, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And how important is it for the air ambulance to be at these events and just raise awareness on what they do?
It's incredibly important. I think it's a really fantastic thing for people in the locality of Warwickshire and Northamptonshire to get involved in. And we've always said if everyone in Warwickshire and Northamptonshire put in £1 in the box, then our funding would be in excess of what we need every year. It takes £1.7 million a year to keep an air ambulance flying. We go out to about 4 or 5 jobs a day, so we're very busy with a 10-hour shift every day, and we've already done 1,000 missions this year. So you can already see that we make a big impact and a big difference to people who need us in the local area.
Okay, so you cover Northamptonshire and Warwickshire, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
How quickly from when you get called out can you get on scene?
Well, obviously it depends on how far the incident is from the base, and we're based at Coventry Airport, because due to the westerly winds in the UK, that puts us time-wise central in between both counties. So usually it's been no more than about 8 to 12 minutes. We aim for a 10-minute response. So speed's really important to us. It's all about getting the clinicians on scene, the doctor and the paramedic. We really are a flying A&E, if you like. So if we can get the doctor to the scene of the incident within the first 10 minutes, we're really moving beyond that golden hour that people talk about into sort of platinum 10 minutes, and that's the big difference we can make. So we can stabilise the patient on scene, and then we can subsequently transport them to a centre that they need. And the kind of incidents we go to tend to be the ones which need something more than your district hospital. So again, that's, if you like, a secondary benefit of having the helicopter. So really we're airborne within anything from 45 seconds to 2 minutes. We can be on scene with 8 or 10 minutes, and really looking at stabilisation about half an hour to 45 minutes, particularly if the patient's trapped in a car or in a difficult position, and then into the hospital within 2 hours, really, having been stabilised. So, and of course the hospital's briefed before we get there, so everything's wound up ready and the right sort of people and specialists are ready in hospital. And it's all about just making that trauma pathway quicker for that patient so they can get to the definitive care that they need really quickly. It's not just road accidents we go to equestrian incidents, motocross, industrial accidents. We go to a lot of cardiac arrests as well. And again, that's a big thing. The quicker we can get to someone who's had a heart attack, the quicker we can get them to hospital, then the more of the heart muscle we can save.
As you can see, we've had a great day out here at Turweston. There's lots to see and do for the whole family. It's been an absolutely amazing attendance, and I hope to see you here next year.